Looking great is Naomi's business. She never falters, even when she's off the clock.
I've got to be comfortable with the way that I look and the way I feel. So, that's just the way I am as a personality. I love to keep changing myself and reinventing, but I get bored of myself. I love fashion, so I'm in the right business.
Supermodels are absolutely essential. They're essential for the photograph, the visual creativity of the photographers, editorial, publicity, marketing, retailing, all of that is key and very, very essential.
In January 1990, Naomi Campbell was called the reigning megamodel of them all when appearing in British Vogue magazine with her fellow supermodels Christy Turlington, Linda Evangelista, Cindy Crawford, and Tatiana Petites. They were known as the Big Five until Claudia Schiffer replaced Petites. George Michael selected the models for his 1990 Freedom video. While all of the models had reputations as being divas, Naomi was saddled with the racism of the British press. Remarked one columnist, "She comes from a very rough part of South London." And to me, that says it all. You can take the girl out of Streatham, but you can't take Streatham out of the girl. Meanwhile, Naomi was paid less for the experience.
Claudia Schiffer is at the top at $7,000. Followed close behind by Linda Evangelista, Naomi Campbell, and Cindy Crawford at $6,000. Yasmin Gori, Helena Christensen, and Christy Turlington ring in at $5,000.
I can understand that people don't understand it necessarily, but I think that we definitely attribute to the sales of these clothes, and people are making billions of dollars off of us, and so our couple of $1,000s are satisfactory.
In 1991, the year it was reported that top supermodels earned $15,000 to $25,000 a day, Naomi said, "I may be considered one of the top models in the world, but in no way do I make the same money as any of them." Claudia Schiffer was making $20,000 a show by 1992 and will remain the highest paid runway model for the decade.
We all have to deal with age, but it's more of an occupational hazard for a model. After all, modeling is a career where a girl can start in her teens and be washed up by the time she reaches her mid-20s. But then that's the harsh reality of a business based upon looks, and one that keeps you looking over your shoulder at younger competition.
Time magazine said Campbell must keep an eye on Beverly Peele, 16, who some are calling the next Naomi. Time also called Tyra Banks a Naomi Campbell lookalike, showcasing how primed the industry was to abandon its top names for something new. Another outlier black model in terms of clout was Tyson Beckford, who appeared as the lead model for Ralph Lauren Polo in 1993. Beckford was the most visible black male model of the era. Most models needed endorsement deals and frequent work to be successful. For instance, Cindy Crawford hosted the fashion show on MTV, House of Style, for 6 seasons. Claudia did Playboy, signed a contract with L'Oreal, and acted in movies. While Naomi didn't get a makeup contract until 1999, she allegedly made $1.5 million in 1992. And in addition to runway shows, she filled her plate with a plethora of roles, from being on the hottest runways, being in the Michael Jackson in the Closet video in 1991, appearing in Madonna's Erotica video and Sex Coffee Table book in 1992, and starring in the 1996 film Girl 6. And even though she appeared on the cover of Vogue multiple times, it is a major accomplishment to be on that magazine with a 1.5 million circulation, Vogue paid roughly $300 for a cover. In between dalliances with Mike Tyson and Robert De Niro and dropping an album named Baby Woman that was popular in Japan, Naomi was a socialite whose beauty and off-duty fashions were highly influential. Ford and elite models got into tiffs over her representation, and a 1993 tumble on a Vivienne Westwood runway didn't stop her grind. To top off her status, Nelson Mandela called her his honorary granddaughter, as she had begun doing charity work in South Africa in 1993. In the early 90s, when the heroin chic look surged in, Kate Moss made the Big Five the Big Six. But something changed at the end of the decade when Linda Evangelista was saying, "The term supermodel is a press-induced word. We have never called ourselves supermodels," as rumors circulated that they didn't get out of bed for less than $25,000 a day, which was a false statement. Anna Wintour said, "They were celebrities. The paparazzi were chasing them. Everybody cared what they were having for breakfast and who they were having affairs with," declared the editor of Allure magazine in 1999. Nobody cares about models anymore. Celebrities were becoming models for runways, print advertisements, and magazines, and they were pushing more competition for jobs among the small-scale models hoping to break in the industry. The diva reputations and expensive fees of the Big Six also ended momentum for another generation of big names to rise to the top at the same rate. The 1997 murder of Gianni Versace was also a factor in the decline of supermodels. Plus, casting directors for fashion shows were hiring plain, thin, and white models from Eastern Europe in the mid to late 90s. These models were idealized because they didn't take away from the clothes. While Naomi Campbell and a handful of other black models would continue to get work, the whiteness of fashion and pay inequity would be a problem going into the next decade.